So I'm Gabriel Bassett. I am not Dichotomy. I am a pale comparison. He is the one who normally leads Pros versus Joes and has done an amazing job putting together an amazing team to assist amazing people. If you don't know, Pros versus Joes is unlike your stereotypical CTF. We have live ranges. We have live blue teams defending live systems and being attacked by live red teams. And it really is an impressive thing to see the teams mature, to learn, and to see the camaraderie, particularly provided by all the teams. And so my opportunity up here is to thank all those people who make it happen, starting with the blue team players who are willing to come in to practice for weeks ahead of time, to play through the highs and the lows. They make the game and they make it great. Also, I want to thank their captains who are professionals, who are patient with them, are kind, are understanding, and help everyone learn. We also have our red team who, by all accounts, could go in and just attack only. And instead, our red team sees this as an educational opportunity to help the blues learn. And they really do act not as so much as an aggressor, but as part of the staff. And then, of course, the gold team. I'm here. We had 2 or 3 people, and I especially want to thank Lauren Rogers, who stepped in at the last minute because we were a little short-staffed. But we also had a half dozen gold team members from all over the U.S. dialing in, watching systems, and running it. All in all, it's a huge effort by a lot of people, but it touches a lot of lives. Being my first time running it, it was also my first time to experience sitting at the front desk and having maybe every hour or two someone come up and say, hey, I was a player last year or 3 years ago or 5 years ago, and it's the best experience I've ever had. I learned things that I never learned anywhere else. It made a huge difference in my life. And in that sense, CTF and Pros versus Joes is a microcosm of the overall conference, the way BSides Las Vegas touches so many lives. And so with that, it is all of us that really deserve credit for all we do in helping people. So I'll turn that back over.
Next up, Xanadu is going to give us an update on the silent auction.
First time ever, we've actually had everybody show up who bid the max amount, except for one. We want to see if they're possibly here. Let's see. SWAT Cyber. Sarah? No? Who wants to start the auction at 45?
This is, by the way, the BSides São Paulo hoodie.
Huh?
Show it. What is it? Yeah.
A medium
BSides
size.
São Paulo hoodie, yeah, size medium.
Woohoo! 45. Woo! Got 50?
We got, yeah, who's going to give us 50 for this? 50 in the back. 55? Going once for 50. Going twice. Sold to the guy in the back. 50 bucks. Thanks for making this quick.
All right, just an overview. We were able to raise over $2K this year. Over 35 items with some wonderful sponsors and lots of drop-off items. So not only the sponsors, but participants dropping off items for everybody to bid on. So, yay! Thank you.
Next, Cindy's going to share a few words.
Hey everyone. First of all, I'm gonna not cry because it's been a really cool couple of days and I hope everybody's gotten the same things out of it that I have, and just being able to see our faces and be here, because it's been a different couple of years, man. I've just been literally walking around smiling. You can't see it under the mask, but just smiling for 2 days, and it's very rewarding. So I just want to share with everyone that, I mean, that's where I'm sitting right now from that chair, knowing that we went ahead and pulled off this event in a little bit of a different way. Very grateful for the ability to be here. We've all gone through some craziness, I'm sure. We're dealing with, and I hate saying the term because it seems so cliche now, the new normal. But we're working on getting back to where we can establish our own normal. We do not have the numbers, as was probably evident this year, that we've had in the past. Kind of planned it that way. We kind of wanted to ease in a little bit. I believe I was told from a donor perspective, we had about 1,600 badges the donations were made for, so that's pretty cool. That's not including our volunteers, our staff, our speakers, their plus ones. So there was a lot of folks here. I can't guess the number because people flow in and out, but I think we had a pretty solid showing for the first year back in person since 2019. Like I said, this past few years has been like outside of any kind of threat model any of us ever, or most of us, I should say. I think I had somebody tell me that they actually did a tabletop exercise with a threat model representing this on them. Wasn't anything I had considered. I was asking some of the staff and some of the folks within the common ground middle ground, excuse me, what they thought some of the good takeaways were from this year and what they got out of it. And a lot of what I heard was just the ability to be around the people again and to talk about us in a common language and to nerd out, right? That's what we do. We nerd out and we teach each other. That's the whole goal of this conference. There was a real significant number of new faces, even without the mask, right? We had a lot of new folks, and this is not just people who are attending and participating, but people who are volunteering. They've never been to BSides Las Vegas yet, they were still volunteering. That to me is so amazing. That means regardless of what's been happening in the world, word's still getting out and how we do our thing. And it's pretty amazing and incredible. I love that. We've got first-time staff that were brought on at the blink of a hat. So thanks for those of you who have managed to fill those roles. We've got a stage manager person around here who just like, oh, I talked to you at the beginning of the week and we're down somebody, so can you help out? And she stepped up and said, so next year, let's try this. So that just made me feel warm at heart. As we move forward, we want to be a little bit bigger than we were this year, a little bit closer to where we are in 2019. Maybe we'll hit that. The reality is that we're going to be back here at the Tuscany. We're going to be home. This is where we belong. I drove up on Saturday, and I went to valet my car, and they asked me for my name. And I said, last name's Jones. Oh, you must be Cindy. I thought it was because they had been notified on who was showing up early. It hadn't happened yet. This guy just remembered me from 2019 or the last time I valeted a car. That to me is mind-boggling. I mean, this is crazy. So yeah, we're staying here for the foreseeable future. We're staying at the Tuscany. That's just one example. We've got amazing help with the staff here. They're incredible as well. I don't know if any of you recognize Lance, but he's been here forever. So if you've been here, you'll recognize Lance. He's always here. So here we are. We're at the Tuscany next year. Kelly, our amazing COO, who you'll hear a little bit from in a minute, she's going to be signing contracts tomorrow. We'll be providing that information as far as dates and when things will be coming available after DEF CON announces their formal dates, and as we do every year. I think that's on Sunday after they announce it at closing on Sunday, so we'll have that information then. One thing I have to say is our staff, all of our staff, are just amazing. They work throughout the year. When we finally made the call that we were going to move forward and the board had a vote and said, yes, let's do this event. I think we all really kind of wanted to. I think a lot of us kind of needed to. And it helped put us in a position of feeling back to our own normal, right? The staff rallied so hard. I mean, we just got things done. A little bit different. New gaps. We got some areas where we're going to go ahead and improve, but every single person on staff has been just amazing. But there are a couple of specific staff members I really want to talk about. One of our folks in our, what do we call it? Quartermaster? We don't call it quartermaster. What is it? Q branch. Thank you. In our Q branch, which is the holder of all the goods, AJ. AJ is a local, and AJ works. She's amazing. I don't know if she's here right now, but AJ has been helping us organize and test electronics in the storage facility for the past, I don't know, 2 months. And she's been a rock here locally within Las Vegas, and it's so appreciated. Mr. Glass has been challenged over and over again in keeping our website up and making it look cool. So thank you so much. And dealing with all the changes, because there were a lot of changes. We have one dark one to thank for the beautiful graphics and all of our design elements, and always amazing. And we wouldn't have the same look or feel without her. I mean, this is amazing. Come on. Another person I really want to go ahead and recognize is Melissa. Melissa is working speaker ops. Sponsor ops. Sorry, sponsor ops. Oops. It was an S word. Melissa, I don't think planned on being as quite of the amazing resource as she ended up being, but we are so grateful for her, both leading up to and during the event. So thank you so much, Melissa. One other person I want to mention is Lulski. He ran speaker ops. I got that right? Lulski ran speaker ops solo for the first time in the role in a crazy environment. So Lulski definitely deserves some props as helping out our speakers. 2 more mentions to the staff who were supposed to be here, who couldn't be here, but yet for whatever reasons, but they still were rocking it from home, helping out. We have a couple, like somebody from registration. We have somebody from contests and events. And we had a few different folks who just couldn't make it for whatever reason, and they were still able to help out on the back end. So thanks, guys. I hope you're watching this. Okay. Now's the hard one. The last person I want to mention is Jack. So he's why we're here, right? He's the ultimate grandfather of the B-Sides events. He's the reason that most B-Sides events happen, really. He's an inspiration, he is a motivator, and he wasn't here because of some family obligation. Regardless, he's always been supportive, he's been Jack. I mean, he's here always with us in his heart, I know that, and he's definitely here, he's present. I mean, this is Jack, you know, I mean, we still honor him just about every year, and I don't think that should ever stop, but yeah. So Jack, if you see this, just know that you are very loved and you are very missed, and we hope to see you soon. All right, last thing I want to say, if anybody in this room or anybody watching the stream has any comments or criticisms or suggestions for way of doing things better, different, new ideas, we would love to hear that. We may not be able to expand by our numbers, but we always want to improve quality, right? So one of the things we'd love for you to do, if you have any comments, we don't do formal surveys. Honestly, it's got an overhead we just can't maintain. But we can look at our emails. So you can always reach us through the typical ways. You can go on to Twitter, DM us on Twitter. All of our DMs are open, so we're fine. You can slide in. We've got we have some contact emails on our site. And if you don't feel like hitting the major staff people that are all looking at that, you can hit me directly. It's cindy@BSidesLV.org. And I will be more than happy to to have a moment to, discuss, chat back and forth, whatever the case may be. So let's always improve our environment here and keep some new things coming in, because security isn't stagnant, neither should we be, right? Other than that, I think that's it. And I just want to drag Kelly up here, who is our COO. And I'd really love to start off a solid round of applause for her because she kicks some ass this year, I gotta say.
I got these horseshoe earrings to match the theme, and every time I take off my mask, I hook my mask on them. It's fabulous. Anyway, I don't have much to say. I want to thank everybody who came. I want to thank everybody for complying with the mask requirement.
Thank you all.
And putting up with the loud air filters. I want to thank everybody, all of our sponsors for supporting us, all of the donors for supporting us. And most of all, I want to thank my staff, who are some of the most tremendous people I've ever met. We have rallied around each other and supported each other for the last 3 years, kept the faith, kept each other going when it was really grim, and put together a show in a very short amount of time when we weren't sure a couple of months ago we were going to be able to do it. They are incredible, and I love you. Thank you to the volunteers for being flexible, for taking on all kinds of jobs. Thank you to the board for supporting all that we do. And thank you to the speakers who are the reason we're here, to get that knowledge out there, to help you build your careers, and to find out some cool shit. So thank you so much, everybody.
All right, so what's left tonight is the pool party. So that's going to start at 10 p.m. or after the rain, whichever comes later. So pick up pool toys from the pool party, courtesy of our wonderful sponsor, pool party sponsor, Microsoft Security Services, or a towel, courtesy of Panther Labs. Thanks to them, and thanks to all of our sponsors this year for making this happen. Yes. Well, so one last thing, right, for me. You know, we're all really sad that Jack can't be here, but everyone on the staff knows this. Jack says, you know, what are we doing here? We're changing people's lives. So anyone who came just as a regular attendee, if you had a conversation with anyone, if you helped anyone out, you changed people's lives. So thank you for coming here and being part of this. And I'll see you guys at the pool.